because of the fact that Ibn Taymiyyah took a position against it. He was regarded by his contemporaries to have gone against consensus in that. And I have great respect for Ibn Taymiyyah. He retracted his position on tawassul. Ibn Ata'illah, the great Maliki faqih, the great Maliki jurist and Sufi, spoke with Ibn Taymiyyah in a famous dialogue. Ibn Taymiyyah retracted his position on intermediation. He didn't retract his position on istighatha. That's his opinion. But these should not be matters of division. They should never be a basis by which one Muslim points to another and calls him a polytheist. One of the great muhaddiths, one of the great scholars of hadith in the last century, Muhammad al-Habib al-Shinqiti, he writes a lot about this in his commentary on the shared hadith of Bukhari and Muslim. And he apologizes that he does that, but he says that I had to do this because of the fact that the Wahabi movement, that really Ibn Taymiyyah has nothing to do with the Wahhabis. Ibn Taymiyyah is one of the wonders of Islamic civilization. But the Wahhabi movement, they adopted his legacy, they adopted his books. They were extremely rigid in this and ignorant as well, and they shed a lot of blood. This is a very important chapter in modern Islamic history, the way that the Wahhabis came to power in Arabia. I don't say that out of spite. I know that there are a lot of people, Salafis and others, some Saudis, a lot of Saudis, most Saudis don't like the Wahhabis, most Saudis are not Wahhabis, but that chapter is a very dark chapter in our history, and it needs to be told honestly, with complete transparency. And the great scholar Yusuf ibn Ismail al-Nabahani, great judge of Lebanon, great scholar, great Sufi also, he writes about this in great detail, as do others. One of the points that he makes, he says that the Wahhabis, who really were a horror, they were a terror when they came out in Arabia. They killed many innocent people. And I know this from personal stories of families that are in Arabia who were there, who were massacred and other things happened, who even if they would ask the Wahhabis to give them protection, not to kill them, and the Wahhabis would promise, they would still do it. So this is a very, very dark chapter in history. And Nabahani was asked about the Wahhabis, and he said that it's like this is the second horn of Satan, because there are many hadith in Bukhari and Muslim and elsewhere about the two qarn of shaitan, or the horn of Satan that comes out of Najd, out of the central part of Arabia. And these were believed to be the Khawarij. And then in one transmission it says the two horns. And one of the great sheikhs that Imam Hamza and I were honored to know, Sheikh Muhammad Wil Zidan, a great Mauritanian scholar, he contended that the Wahhabis are the second horn, or the second generation. And Nabahani also believed that. So they're one of the signs of the end of time. He said that they are not the greatest evil. The greatest evil are those who come after them, who are like them, but who mix their knowledge, because the Wahhabis were extremely ignorant, with other knowledges of their time. And these are the kind of movements that you have seen in the 20th century and in the 21st century as well. We pray that Allah guide us to the light and to the true tradition, to represent the faith of His Prophet. And again, as we said before, anything in order to be an article of belief that you must believe, and which if you deny, you are a disbeliever in our faith, it has to be a matter of consensus. To reject intermediation would be probably to violate consensus. But nevertheless, to introduce matters like this, which at worst are not agreed upon, and that open themselves up to interpretation and were accepted by the vast majority of Sunnis and Shia as authentic, then that is to create sectarian division. and it's to create great harm. And we pray that Allah give us the honest understanding of our religion, that He remove all the shubuhat, all of the doubtful matters, and that He put us on the clear way. Ameen.
Ameen.